What's good? I'm Tamika Denise, and this is Yo Auntie Fix My Life. I mean, if you forget what's popping off today, just look right here. You feel me? But today's episode is another topic centered around sexual themes and things like that. That's why we got the you gotta knock before you come in type vibe. But today's episode 5, we get into that 5 halfway milestone, is about open niche, monogamy, polyamory, and everything in between. Doing love differently, right? Like, we all do love differently. We all have different types of relationships, as we established in previous episodes. But within these dynamics, how are we navigating jealousy, honesty, and just commitment overall? I think the best way or the best assurance is probably to just be over communicative, right? But we're gonna get into that and a few other topics on the matter. But grab your tea, grab your water. I got my coffee. Oh, these mugs right here. Link in my bio. These are my official mugs with some poetry on the back. You feel me? Hey, you feel me? That's not drop coffee on the white tea. It's too early. But today we're gonna discuss all of the above, as I mentioned, but this is not about pushing people into polyamory or monogamy. It's about understanding choices and finding alignment within these dynamics. We all have different dynamics. I was watching Shane, episode of Shane Lovers and Friends, and they were for my YouTube people, for those of you who are watching, if you haven't already done so, click the follow. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button. I appreciate you so much. And if you want ad free, you already know what to do. And don't act like you ain't never been here before. Not here, but just on this platform in general. Yeah, you determine. You decide. Speaking of, dang it. Sorry, y'all. I have a new schedule up for the stream, and it's gonna go a little differently for those of you who have been here. But we'll get it over there. I'll find it in just a second. But yeah, this is not about pushing people into polyamory or monogamy. Like, this is just conversation of some notes that I've taken along the way, and a little bit of my experience in each of these dynamics, to say the least. Quick trigger warning. Talking about jealousy, sexual communities, and BDSM, but from an educational and healing perspective. This is no way, shape, or form me telling you or giving unsolicited advice. These are just conversations that I've had with my friends, my people, my family members, things that have come up for me along the way. Mostly everything that's come up for me along the way, because I would hate for me to misquote one of my peoples, you feel me? So my cats be running wild in the morning. So I'm like, what is happening? But anyways, like, yeah, how about we get into this? How we got here. We're gonna always start off with how we got here. We're gonna break down relationships, how we move forward, and things like that. But ultimately, like, how did we get here? Is my schedule available? Okay, I'm just making sure that I got it up here, okay? Okay, y'all. Just saying, get you one of these. If you are here for the live, I appreciate y'all so much. Enjoy the music, you feel me? But yeah, how did we get here? Queer love has always been outside the mainstream. Are we correct? Mostly behind those closet doors you see behind me. Oh my gosh, I'm clicking buttons on accident. My bad. Mainly behind them closet doors. But our dynamics have always been unique, especially through times as laws tend to change. They're changing as we currently speak. So if you are not up on game, please get yourself knowledgeable on game. And on Wednesday, I'm going to start this new segment called Politicking with my young YNs, which is y'all, my young nephews, my young nieces, like all of the above. We're going to talk about politics that affect us in the community, because they do, especially during this time. And we won't get into the complexities of what's going on around the freaking United States here. But queer love has always been outside the mainstream. Before marriage equality, many LGBTQ folks had to create their own rules and partnerships. If you look at the early, before 1960, 1930s and 40s, like some of the dynamics like during that time, right? You have trans people, or people becoming trans, right? At that time, I believe their transition was more so out of necessity, but that's just my opinion based on the Stone Butch Blues, my interpretation of that book. Y'all probably have different interpretations of that book. You do? Go ahead and put them in the chat. You feel me, young nephew, young niece? And keep your auntie, knowledgeable. You feel me? It's a community. We're learning together. But yeah, based on my interpretation of that book, is that person in particular had to transition out of necessity. Now these people having sort of like speakeasies for the LGBTQ community around the world, right? Major cities, like they're having like little clubs in the back halls, like they have different types of things that identify them. It's like probably more than likely word of mouth. Probably started in somebody's backyard. They got space to open up an actual physical space where they can have their own, right? Now, picture yourself going in masculine as I am today, presenting. Let's go outfit check. But just like, shirt's fucking extra big, but just like I'm wearing baggy clothes and stuff like that. So like, but the law back in the day is like you had to wear like a certain amount of clothing, right? Like you didn't walk hand in hand here. It's like going to an African country or a Middle Eastern country that is like not down with the shits, right? You not holding hands. You just out there enjoying your vacation, or you don't show up. You don't show up to the region because you're like, out of respect for you, I'm gonna stay the fuck away. Out of respect for me, I'm gonna stay the fuck away too. Or you got a motherfucker like me who is like, all right, so how am I gonna assess the threat? Do I want to end up in a hole, or do I want to experience whatever it is that I'm experiencing? For the most part, places like, I don't want to say necessarily Egypt is this way, but like going to Egypt or Jamaica, there is a slight chance my ass might end up in the back road, back alley. But honestly, not even Jamaica. I'm because I've been to Jamaica, so I'm alive. That's all I gotta say. But there are places in Africa that I will not go to, especially because of the way that they treat their women. Like, if you're gonna take away my sexual pleasure, which is my clitoris, I'm gonna have to punch you in the throat or something. Like, something has gotta give. Something has got to give. There has to be a herb outside Like, do not let me touch the food after you done what you did. That's all I gotta say. If you're my husband, because like many of these women are getting forced into this, right? Marriage, it doesn't matter if they're queer or anything like that. In certain regions of the world, people are getting forced into the situations that they don't want to. Luckily for Americans, the privilege that we have as an American to be able to hide these types of relationship without any I wouldn't say without repercussions, because a lot of the time the people in the 50s, the 40s, and the 30s, probably even before then, if they were arrested for this charge, they were more likely raped and beat in prisons and jail cells and things like that. So yeah, it's just a matter of like, we have the luxury in the United States of America and other parts of the world where we have privilege to create our own rules around partnership at this time. This has not always been the case. Hookup culture, ballroom culture, bathhouses, and BDSM spaces offered freedom and experimentation. How we got here is that I've gone to a few spaces. I've gone to the Armory in San Francisco. Mind you, they do a few things in the Armory that are interesting, to say the least. But they give classes, and I was getting a class on how to tie ropes for pleasure. I was like, I'm gonna be this madam and I'm gonna just tie motherfuckers up. Again, trigger warning. But like, yeah, so I was taking classes San Francisco, the Armory, and they do adult filming in there as well. I don't know if they're still doing what they're doing, but you can also get a fucking tour there. I don't know what the fuck you're touring, but you can go and get a tour. I never took a tour, but I almost got lost in there. Almost ended up in some spaces. I just need to use the restroom, please. The restrooms are working, but they're also got big ass holes in them. So like, you don't want to touch the walls maybe if you go take the tour. I don't know. Wash your hands. Carry sanitizer. I got some wipes if y'all need some. But yeah, just a hookup culture. Nothing against it. But I know y'all are nasty. And y'all don't clean the walls well. Okay? For those of you who frequent that place. But also, there is a bunch of things. Like, I've been to a bathhouse, and I didn't know that's what they were originally for. And I don't know how I felt. I still don't know how I feel about that. But bathhouses are a thing. I mean, I've gone to like hot springs. That's the thing. I'm sure that shit's happening there. Cause there's people out there that will just cradle you and rock you. So if that's what you into and your partner's okay with it, just let it be. Let the experience happen. Because typically, like, everybody is like very much friendly at bathhouses and at hot springs. Everybody is there for a similar reason, to decompress and to live outside of their normal routine. So just respect the boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say yes. Yes. Yes, all ages are there. I'm 39. There is people younger than me. Some YNs, some young nephews and nieces there with their partners. You know, like, I think we get it confused that we are supposed to have these experiences like later in life type of thing. Like, we're like this I don't know, because like people get labeled incorrectly and just inappropriate, where like people become like the creepy old man and shit like that. No, let him be. We are on the nude beach. He's butt naked, and you chose to wear your swimsuit trunks or whatever. You know, like we are in a place where like it's the bathhouses or the hot springs where everybody's butt naked. You decide to keep on your whole ass motherfucking swimsuit. I did. Because I wasn't comfortable in my body at the time. I think I'm in a place where I am comfortable. Honestly, mixing like going from hot to cold type of thing, I would suggest you not do that in your clothes. Because it's like whatever's in the, I don't know, my skin's sensitive. So it's just like whatever I wash my clothes with just kind of like seeped into my skin and it was itchy. But also, bring your own soap if you got sensitive skin, because like their soap is like antibacterial soap, and like it's probably not like it affects us all differently, and that's a had me itching too. I know next time to bring my own soap. But yeah, so cultures like that in spaces where you feel free. There in the Bay Area, the ladies come up, they get wild and crazy kid on the river. And I've been to those parties too, just wilding out on the river. It's like it's a kink culture as well. I have friends in the kink culture, like, and I was at a time where I was just like asking a lot of questions. That's how I ended up tying up my friend. Now, mind you, I'm going with a homie that's a whole ass dude. It's a long story. Right, it's my guy. He lives in Las Vegas. I'm not gonna say his name, but his wife and I were really good friends. I mean, we're all good friends, but like obviously we're really good friends that we go to this the class together. But we didn't realize that it was like more so like couple, because people came along too, and that's. We came together, but we basically came alone. So, like, we had to practice on each other. Yeah. Honestly, this is how people are meeting their thirds and polydynamics. This is how people meet up too. There's a lot of ways. There's sex clubs. Anyways, so... I didn't know that we had to tie each other up. Just bent over. Is this good? Yeah, like just having normal conversation. Like that's the amazing. Like when you're mad, your male friends are like your male straight friends are like just not like they're about making you feel safe. You know, like. I have like 2 male friends. They're both white. I don't know if I could do this with a black man. I don't know. I have like trauma with black men. Not complete trauma, but like a little bit of trauma. Yeah, we'll get into. We already got into trauma, so if you have questions, go see the last episode. But yeah, just tie it up. I don't know how to tie them knots right now, though. It's a while ago. So it's my 20s experimenting. I also got invited to a couple of like parties, like people having fun in the Bay. Like that happens. Like those parties that you think your grandparents and your parents are having. No, it's our community as well, and we have the freedom and to do anything. Right? You can get a wristband that's just voyager. You could get the other wristband that's like active participant. Also, moving into something a little bit different. Y'all see me with my handkerchief, right, most of the time, but there is a code to this. the handkerchief code, getting into that, right? It originated in the 70s for gay leather BDSM community as a way to signal kinks, roles, and desires through color bandanas. Like, even the ways in which individuals wear those bandanas are a little bit different, and all the goddamn fucking the colors mean something. How I found this out, it's fun times. It was me and a coworker. I love him to death, or them to death, because they did drag as well, and they would invite me to their shows. They stopped inviting me after I laughed at their normal voice, and I was like, my bad. But anyways, I be laughing at life, everything, so sorry. We could have talked about it, but we kind of broke up our friendship, I guess, since I ain't get invited to none of the cookouts, the situation. But they were in, a polyamorous type of dynamic with their partner, but they would invite me to these parties, and we were at a work event at Outside Lands. We had the whole shebang, VIP, all that stuff, right? And he had a handkerchief, and I can't remember what side it is, but the people in this community know what I'm talking about. But he was saying that the red handkerchief means that, I think he was like receiving anal, if I remember read correctly. And I forget, you wear it on the right side, you wear it on the left side. If you wear it tucked or untucked, it's different signals, and you gotta know what you like, apparently, because the signals and symbolizations everywhere. The handkerchief code symbolized openness, safety, and direct communication. No guessing games, right? Just clarification, like real this is what I'm saying. Like, you tucked in, tucked out, left side. It's like left is the bottom, or right is like the top, or it could be swapped. And then depending on like the color already meant one thing, but depending on how it's tucked in or tucked out meant like you want a specific thing. I don't know. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, is there this in the lesbian community? And they're like, well, it's a part of the BDSM community. And I was like, facts. So I bought a bunch of handkerchiefs. At one point, I had all the colors of the rainbow. Oh gosh, I started wearing them differently though. I had like green tied in my head. Let's like go look up what the green handkerchief means. I'm always attracted to green too. Green hanky code. Oh gosh, it brought up everything. Y'all wanna see this shit? Somebody say it's irrelevant. Yeah, if you freaky. Sorry, it's like riffing where this shit showing up too. So wait. Oh. The green is called Kelly green, meaning male prostitution. Worn on the left, hustler for rent. Worn on the right, John looking to buy. Oh, so the left is the receiver, the right is the performer. Red, going back to red. Oh, I forgot. It's not what I said. It's fisting. One on the left, you're the fister. One on the right, you're the fisty. What? Medium blue, uniform fetish. Oh. One on the left, cop. One on the right, cop, sucker. Yeah, this is good to know. Gray, bondage. Left, one on the left, tie him up. One on the right, gets tied. Ooh. I would definitely only be light blue, I guess. Oral sex. One on the left, receiver. One on the right, performer. I'm gonna go find one for babe. I'm gonna get her one too. Green, like a dark green. Daddy, boy, sex. One on the left, daddy. One on the right, boy looking for daddy. That's just some of the kinky code. Y'all could go look that up. Y'all could go look that up yourself. Just learn some more interesting facts about my friends. So yeah. Originated in the 1970s. Why it matters today? Many queer people still rely on alternative models of love and intimacy because mainstream default scripts don't always fit in, right? So we're not about that. We don't, it's not in a sense where we've wanting to take the fun out of it. Like, we want to have fun. We want to be safe. For those of you who are in these communities, please practice safe freaking sex. And if you are on prep or need prep, let somebody know. Hell, if you got syphilis, gonorrhea, mono, I don't fucking know. Let somebody fucking know so they can decide whether or not they want to participate. I don't know. I think I've always been like one of those people that are like, let me see your pap. I don't give a fuck if it's medical. I want to know if medically I should be doing what I'm doing down in the region. So I need to see the motherfucking results of your pap smear. If you don't know what a pap smear is, schedule one today. If you should be over the age of 18 if you're watching this already. I'm not gonna affirm that everybody should be 18 and over listening to this. Go talk to your parents. If you're still living at home and you're 18 years old and you don't know what I'm talking about, coochie probably stink. I mean, sorry. But if it does, you should probably yoni steam. Yoni steam is spiritual and it's beneficial. Yoni steam. If you don't know what that is, go look that up. Because we're going into healing from jealousy and misalignment. Because in these types of dynamics, that happens just like it happens in monogamy. Miscommunication, jealousy arises. Even if you're in a polyamory dynamics, it doesn't matter. Jealousy equals a teacher, not an enemy. Often rooted in fear, insecurity, or past betrayals, it can reveal what the relationship really needs. You can also learn from this as well. Like, why is it that you're feeling jealous? Right? Like, dig deep into your why, because it's not necessarily about the other person. Yeah, if they cheated, now you're triggered, right? You're triggered into thinking that this is going to happen again, right? Like, or it may happen again, or this person made you feel as if they did that because of you. But no, just like in episode 2, they did it, or episode 1, they did it because of you, or because of them. You know, they did it because they're insecure, they don't know how to communicate, they're self-sabotaging that relationship, or the relationship that you're in, because they want an easy way out. They're copping out. To be honest, they haven't dealt with the trauma in their life, as we mentioned in episode 4. You know, like, it is rooted in fear and insecurity and past betrayals. It has to be. Well, the current betrayal, as mentioned. So, misalignment happens when partners don't share the same values around sex, love, or time. You know? Like, really sit down with your partner and, like, really discuss, like, alright, I know sometimes I say, ask my partner this, I'm like, is this, like, important? Not important, but is it enough to ruin your day? Because sometimes I irritate her, she irritates me, type thing. But it's just like, is it enough to ruin your day? Because if it's not, then you can leave it at the door, right? Or are we going to be good if we don't have this conversation in 5 minutes? We should be able to talk about it when we're at a place where we're available, or have the emotional intelligence to receive whatever it is that the other is needing to say at that time. So it's just more so like, yes, misalignment happens, but how are you communicating through it? Like, I don't know, when I was navigating polyamory at one point, I thought this was going to be the best solution for me, because I was in monogamous relationships where, like, people found it strange that I wasn't really communicating, or, like, wasn't communicating enough. But in polyamory, like, when I was doing my research and stuff like that, I was just like, yes, this is probably, like, the best type of relationship I can have, type of thing, because I necessarily wasn't looking for, like, a main person to spend the rest of my life with. Kind of figured I would be similar to my father, where these, let me take that back. I was looking for a partner that was my main, but I didn't necessarily want other individuals, like, in our space. Like, my polyamory relationship or their polyamory other relationship wasn't going to come into our, I forget what it's called, but there is certain terms for this where, like, we're all living under one same roof and things like that. At the time, that's not what I wanted. I wanted someone who was my main person, and then I would have other dynamics, but leave that dynamic where the fuck it is, like, over there. So, I still don't know what these terms are called, but that's how I pictured, like, my dynamics, or just watching other people. Or if that wasn't the case, in the meantime, I'm just, like, exploring, right? Curious George out here. Doing what it do. But, like, navigating other situations where they had main partners, but they were open, or, like, they were polyamory, where they had relationships outside of that. That's what I was encountering more often, right? Which is good, because I could just leave them motherfuckers where they were at. There's still that same connection, but I don't have to deal with all the bells and whistles and, like, trying to get on the same page, when I could just slowly, gradually, like, have these pieces fall into place, type of thing. So, mugs available in the link in the bio. If you want to support the channel, support through the merch. Poetry's on the blog, as I mentioned earlier. Thank you. If you haven't already done so, click the follow or the subscribe if you're over there on YouTube. I really appreciate y'all. But yeah, just like going through that, like, I don't know, and then the miscommunication was off too. So it just kind of triggered me, like, in a traumatic way where I was just like, maybe I'm not polyamorous or whatever. Maybe I just want really good communication in a monogamous relationship, which is where I'm at right now, right? But I also found out that there are terms, because I have different friends in my life that are these things where it's like monopolyamorous, where one of the partners is polyamorous, but the other one is living in a monogamous way where they're monogamous, so the relationship is still monopoly. Look at it. Because I found that term yesterday when I was looking and researching. And I was just like, that's what I was looking for at one point. You know? Because, like, you know, you see the whole show with the whole sister wife shit, and I was like, I don't want that. Like, I'm not about to have fucking 6 households. What the fuck I look like? What? And I watched a show during the pandemic where, like, dudes are struggling to maintain their relationships during the pandemic. Let's just say that. And, like, living the polyamorous way. And it's all about, like, basically these women were looking for their sister wives type shit. Because, like, the husband and the wife already got kids. Like, if you don't have a kid coming into this, you're a single person coming into that space, not being, like, not having children of your own, and then, like, not having the maternal instincts to, like, just jump in, right? I think men in those situations need to, like, find someone who is maternal, because, like, the wife is looking too. Like, y'all are all gonna be in the same household, so y'all all have to connect to some degree, right? So that's a different polyamorous, you know, dynamics and situation. And, like, for this person, right, he was looking for his, like, another wife, his third wife, and then the person that was coming in had no kids, they were single, or, you know, and they were still navigating this relationship, and their family was, like, not okay with, like, them switching over. It's a show, so it's out there. I can't remember the name of the show, but, and then what happened? Oh yeah, and then, like, they were like, well, I'm still dating other people, like, you don't have to be my main either, like, you have 3 other wives, you know. And then, like, he kind of, like, got pissed about that, so it was very interesting, you know, very interesting. But yeah, healing practices. Name the fear underneath this journey if you're experiencing, like, jealousy or any types of conflicts that are arising due to lack of communication, right? Use agreements instead of rules, so both parties have agency, right? Like, that is reasonable, right? Like, agreements, like, y'all have clear defined agreements, you know, like therapy, journaling, queer community dialogues are very necessary. That's why I didn't understand when I was discussing my kinks and fetishes and things like that to my friends. They want to shame me in public because they come from a I speak about this in the last episode about trauma, but they want to, like, demonize me for just speaking on something that I don't have any real knowledge of. I'm just expressing to you what I saw, what I was, like, liking. And if anything, they should have just felt like, oh, then maybe, you know, we can have some fun. But for you to not talk to them and just look at their face and just assume this is what it is, is wild to me. Because I don't mean no disrespect. I just want one too. Where I just take the testosterone and it just go to one part of my body, which is the clitoris. Again, trigger warning. This is what we talking about here. You gotta be over 18. I'm gonna say this because the internet, when I try, be like, dang at me. Like, what can you say? Like, there are people giving tips all the time. I'm just giving my experience. Like, freedom of speech, my ass. But yeah, so just wanted to be one general area so I can have a bigger one, so I can do things. Let your mind go. Let your mind do whatever it is. I'll stop there. But yeah, so if we're having any misalignments, just try some healing practices that will get you along the way. Therapy again. I'm not a licensed professional. My degree is in psychology, but I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not giving you any suggestions. I'm just stating my experience. Now, therapy might be a healing practice that you need. Different types of therapists in the world. There are people that are practicing herbalism along with their psychiatric credentials and stuff like that. So look into it. I'm going to always go and suggest someone who's in that type of field, just because, yeah, herbal therapy or, our ancestral therapy has tended to work for many years. Relationship models in the LGBTQ community. Going back to this, like, now we're gonna get some clear definition of what is everything, right? I like this app. I got this information right here, but it says monogamy still valid. Some queer folks thrive in traditional one-to-one partnerships. Open relationships. Partners remain committed but allow for outside sexual romantic connections. Polyamory, multiple loving, committed relationships, not just sex. Right, because it can also be like not a thing where it's like necessarily platonic, but platonic, deeper than like the average relationship. I feel like a lot of my relationships have started deeply, like where we're attracted to each other, but it just kind of like turns platonic, and I have very deep connections with folks. So maybe I am poly, but just dormant? I don't fucking know. Monogamous. Mostly monogamous with occasional agreed upon flexibility. That's really a term. BDSM kink partnership may be monogamous or poly, but often structured around negotiated power roles and safe exploration. Ooh. Queer platonic partnerships. Deep life partner bonds that aren't based on sex romance but are still committed. Queer. I just want to read that. Deep life partner bonds that aren't based on sex romance but are still committed. It's because they're asexual? It's because they're asexual, okay? It gotta be. Right? I don't know. I don't know. But maybe. I'm gonna have to do some more research on that. Cause I'm like, why you're not having sex? Sorry, it's a long ass pause, but I was in deep thought. Can y'all tell me in the chat? Is it the trauma-based trauma response? Because not everything is trauma-based trauma response. It's just a preference. So I'm interested to know if you are in that type of dynamic, Are y'all friends? No, because you're partners. So, let me know. Moving forward, building positive and meaningful relationship. Honesty is the foundation. Whatever your structure, communication is definitely going to be key for this. Consent culture, right? Learn from BDSM and queer spaces, agreements, safe words, renegotiation when needs change. Me and Sharice just thought about, like, what is our safe word? Like, if we get kidnapped. Like, if you call me, somebody's like just trying to scam me, right? It's like, oh, we need $5,000 because we got your partner. We were like, put them on the phone. If it's like a recording thing, like, say the safe word. I forgot it already. We got one. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. I gotta go ask her that. Do we have one in the bedroom? No, we don't have that. We're not like... We won't get into that. But no, we don't have a safe word in the bedroom either. Choose love, not default scripts. Ask, am I here because it's right for me or because it's what's expected? Community care, queer relationships don't just, exist in pairs. Chosen family, friends, and play partners all shape our sense of belonging. Especially during this time, especially in this world, like, it's very important that you choose love and don't choose the script that is, like, laid out for you. Like, why when you could write your own dang on script? You could write it however you feel, like, whatever is going to ensure your highest good, a space where you're healing into the best form of yourself. Like, don't be limited by expectations that people place on you. It's like, what you do in the bedroom is none of their business, right? You don't even have to answer the question I asked about the queer partnerships that are not romantic or based on sex. You don't gotta do that, right?